I'm going to give you two different ways to look at ROI.
Mhm.
One is the bottom line, right? And that's the way we normally look at ROI inside of an organization. And you know what? If you have a good culture, all the studies say this that you're going to have lower turnover, you're going to have lower waste, you're going to have higher productivity. A study came out and said that companies with a better culture have 202% stronger returns than companies with a bad culture. And so across the board, we know that culture ends up on the bottom line. It ends up in the profit and loss column. It is a hard fact of doing business that your culture will end up on the bottom line. But let me actually introduce another way to think about ROI is when you create a bad culture in your organization, think about what that bad culture does to the people that work for you, that work with you, that work alongside you, the stress they're taking home to their family, the stress they're taking out on their family, the stress that they're carrying into their community, right? When you have a bad culture, people have to use the weekend to recover, right? They have to use the weekend just to try to like get their head back to normal because they had to put up with 5 days of really bad culture. And so on the weekend, instead of being engaged with their kids, instead of being a part of their family, instead of doing things they actually enjoy with a clear mind, they're replaying conversations from the week, right? And so
Right.
the ROI on humanity matters also. So yes, it's going to end up on the bottom line. You're going to make more money. If you're only about money, you're going to make more money if you have a good culture, right? If you just want the straight throughput from culture to ROI, there it is. But I would say when you create a good culture, you're doing something more profound than you can ever know. You know, one of the things I teach people when I teach leadership is I say if you're a boss of people, be really careful what you say on a Friday because there's going to be people that think about it all weekend long. And you have a
Yeah.
lot of power over the quality of their life for Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday when you're not even in meetings with them and you're not even a part of what they're doing. But they're going to take whatever you said, and if it was biting, if it was cutting, if it was negative, and it's going to roll around in their mind, and they're going to wonder, why did my boss say that? What does that
Yeah.
mean? What am I going to do about that? And that's going to affect their entire weekend. I would say that's a pretty terrible ROI. We want people to have incredible lives. Life is good. We want people to enjoy their life. So why don't we create cultures that work? Because people spend most of their time at work.